Hey folks, it's Ardwulf and welcome to Traveler Tuesday. Today we are taking a look at this thing which has just arrived. This is what is called the Classic Traveler Facsimile Edition, and I ordered it from DriveThruRPG, a place where their print-on-demand stuff has been, I wouldn't say entirely bulletproof, certainly in terms of page registration. And what we have here is a reproduction of the three classic little black books of Classic Traveler, along with a relatively small amount of ancillary material. You can see right off the top is something that I notice that kind of a lot in print-on-demand product from DriveThruRPG, which is that there's some registration issues. In this case, on the spine, I don't notice any registration issues on the interior whatsoever. So that is clean. The spine's a little bit off, not a huge deal. Of course, we're going to call this the Little White Book instead. And it is available at a very reasonable price, I gotta say. So this is the original 1981 rules core text. So this is like the revised Classic Traveler edition from 1981, as opposed to the earlier edition from 1977. There are some relatively minor differences between the two, even to the point of some rule differences. But generally speaking, the differences are incredibly minor, and I wouldn't worry over them. When it says errata and corrections inserted or referenced, what that means is that there is a big errata document at the end. So it is not a corrected text, which is... it is a facsimile edition, so it kind of does what it says on the tin, but it's, it would be nice to have a corrected text, too. Because this was GDW, and, as big a fan as I am of the stuff that GDW did, they did kind of have a consistent issue with errata, right? Okay, so right at the beginning, we get books 1, 2, 3. We're not going to do a complete flip through here. I'm just going to show you what you're going to get if you pick this up. All the trademark, the copyright IP info is now referencing far future enterprises. We do get a little introductory section called The Universe of Traveler, the Basic Traveler Books, which has some really interesting info in it, including, the fact that 64,320 copies of the Basic Traveler little black book box were printed. That's by itself fairly interesting. And we get right in. So this is as it says, it is a facsimile edition. And if you look for it on DriveThruRPG, you're going to see it's the Classic Traveler Facsimile Edition. We get to Book 2, Starships. We're going to get to Book 3, Worlds and Adventures, at some point pretty soon here. Right here, Book 3, Worlds and Adventures. Now, the nice thing, and then at the end of that, you're going to get to the end, and you're going to notice that there is the final word. This is actually, I think, from the original edition. But then you have errata. And, again, GDW, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages of errata, they're digest-sized pages. A lot of it is, well, at least to some extent, it is clarifications rather than actual corrections. And I should also point out that there are literally almost 40 years or it's actually more than 40 years of errata accumulated right here. So, it might seem like a lot of errata, but I wouldn't personally consider it to be that big of a deal. But it also would be nice to have a corrected text, right? If you do not own a copy of Classic Traveler, and for some reason don't want to pick up the Starter Traveler, which is also available in PDF for free on DriveThruRPG, supposedly it's sometimes not free, but every time I check, and like right now, it is still free. If you want it in a physical form, this is a really nice way to go. It is incredibly portable. It's a little digest-sized book, a lifetime of adventure in a large pocket that you can fit right here. So it is. There's probably a certain amount of nostalgia talk in here too, but it's a really nice presentation of the Classic Traveler rules, and it does kind of make me, want to just take this at Origin, say, shut up, sit down, we're all playing Classic Traveler, let's create characters, 5 minutes later we're playing. You can do that with Classic Traveler because it is so easy to play. And I am going to guess and say I could probably run it right out of the book without really having to look at the rules too much, other than, tables and stuff. So, great little presentation, the Classic Traveler Facsimile Edition from DriveThruRPG. You can, of course, get this in a in a PDF version as well. But I mean, I've got the Starter Traveler in PDF, so I don't need, you know, another Classic Traveler in PDF. But to have another, well, you know, I guess realistically, did I really need another presentation of the Classic Traveler rules? I honestly probably have about 10 copies. So, but I didn't have one of these, so it was something that I felt I needed. So thanks very much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe to the channel and click the little bell icon to get notified when new content comes out. If you'd like to help support the channel, please do check out the links in the video description to the Patreon, the merch store, and the Ko-Fi. Your support helps to make more content like this. So thanks very much to all the patrons and other supporters of Ardwulf's Lair. Again, thanks for watching and happy gaming.